In freshman year, I didn't find anything that I liked for an elective. And I saw Pro TV 1 on the back of the class election sheet.
The Pro TV class sounded like a really good idea. I joined it and it was exactly what I wanted it to be.
I was with my counselor, but there was a conflict in my schedule, and she was like, oh, do you want to take this production class? And I was like, oh, you guys have a production class? I would have been on that list if I knew, but...
Everyone loves films, right? Have you ever been in a movie theater just sitting there watching a film? You can't lie to yourself and say you've never just had a little tiny feeling that you've wanted to make one of those. You can if you join this class.
A story from one of my days on set. Welcome to the office. It was surprising for us because everything actually went smoothly. Walking into the actual office that our friend had rented out, it was just fun. It felt professional.
The Moonlight Experiment, that's what it was called. When everything went wrong with that, everyone knew how to pick up the slack there. Even though we were all not experienced at all, it was still really cool to see it come together.
That was just a really inspiring moment for me because it was the first time I'd ever sort of been involved with something I was really passionate in, where I was surrounded by people who shared that passion and were willing to pay the sort of physical price and the price in time. Everyone there wanted to see it done, and that was pretty cool.
I would say horror.
Horror.
In terms of writing, it would actually have to be horror. I love writing horror for some reason.
All the shocks and turns and everything.
You always have to have a personalized look because you can play a lot with the colors, a lot with the shadows.
I don't know, I think the dramas are really fun. Trying to come up with cool ways to do frame within a frame and weird dividing stuff in between characters that are at odds and trying to direct around that so it still has some symbolism is a fun way to try and work it out. Writing is one of my favorite production roles.
You're so integral to it, and you have such a voice in the creation of it. And to be able to see other people build off your ideas is so incredible.
One person can say something, one person can build, and it all becomes just an almost good kind of snowball effect where you get something complex enough.
I don't know, just when you start it, you're just in a zone, and then time just disappears. I can start at 9 in the morning and be done at 9 at night, and it won't be a second has passed.
When you're writing something else in another medium, you don't really see it in that same way, but in film, you write a script and then you get to see other people make it and put it together, and you might be part of that as well. That's really cool.
I definitely like handling the camera more than anything.
Looking at shots and figuring out what makes things look good.
I enjoy cinematography, and I like being in charge of most of the visuals.
I like directing. Just the pressure from directing. Everybody asking you questions every 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes would be nice. Every minute.
I don't know, I just like to be in charge for things. I like to have everything in a tight schedule, make sure everyone's doing their job.
Getting something to your own hands and making it come out right.
I felt really invested when I was looking over the script. It felt like I was truly a director.
Sometimes you get things just right, and you're proud of your work.
The whole scene where we were at the track and everything for middle of the end, for a lot of that, it was very hard to plan, first of all.
We got a bunch of extras together, and the main character, and another supporting character, and a bunch of people to work on set to film an action scene.
But when everything came together and everything worked, it was extremely satisfying.
We were filming The False Babushka, and it was basically about someone joining the mafia on accident. It was a really fun time discussing shots and the rule of thirds because we had just learned about that, so we were all really excited about how to frame the shots and stuff like that.
There's this one scene in Demnado when he was walking in the forest and his dead self was watching him walk inside. And there was a transition scene where, I don't know, I can't explain it, but you gotta watch it to know how it goes.
Guilt. We told a really interesting story despite not having any dialogue and only having shots of specific objects in the main character, and everybody got something special from it.
The first time was that I really felt that moment was Beanie Bust. We were in a table and it was a conference room, just the framing and the proportions and the lighting was just on point.
We filmed a one take, a oneer, that lasted for 3.5 minutes. And the actors carried the scene for 3.5 minutes. Our camera operator held that thing that must have been 10 pounds.
But the thing was, the batteries were running out, so we were we have to get the shots, we have to hurry, quick.
It was moving, it was flowing around them, the camera was circling them, and we did that 3 or 4 times to make sure we had it.
It was a moving shot, and that was something I've never done before, and at that time, it was I accomplished something.
Even though that film itself was kind of really not good. That scene, you know, everyone went, oh my God, that's so cool.
It was monumentary. Is that a word?
Monumental.
Monumental. Yeah. That was monumental.